All right, guys, hello and welcome to a special trending topic segment of November 2022 edition of the Pre-Sale Pulse. I'm Ryan Lalonde and joined by me today, Susana Gonzalez. Now, the Pre-Sale Pulse looks at some of the macroeconomic trends and both the pre-sale and resale market performance data and insights. But today, we're going to talk about something different. We're going to talk about one of the recent topics requested by our viewers, and we like this one. So, Suze, fresh out of an election, right? Season's over, local governments, and the dust now more or less has settled. I think that's a fair assessment.
Yeah.
Let's talk about what's really fallen out of that and some of the larger government policies that we have coming on the horizon. And I know this is an area you're pretty passionate about.
Yeah, absolutely. In Vancouver, we saw Ken Sim of the ABC party defeat Mayor Kennedy, turning the tables after narrowly losing out to him in the last go-around in 2018. In fact, every member of Sim's ABC party won a seat on Vancouver's council. Now, given the shakeup and the fact that ABC now has a majority on council, I think it would be worth talking about their policies and how they're likely to impact our industry.
Yeah, I mean, ABC has promised to increase police presence in the city. This is huge for us. Provide additional mental health funding. That's obviously an ongoing challenge that we've faced locally. And then, of course, streamlining the permitting process for new developments. Sim's also pledged that he does not plan to introduce any further major changes to the Broadway plan, Vancouver plan, and the proposed UBC SkyTrain extension. We'll be supporting them vigorously moving forward.
Now, given the amount of time, energy, and public consultation given to these land use strategies, all of which have been created to tackle key issues facing the City of Vancouver, and perhaps regardless of what you may think of the policies, it is positive to hear that projects can at least move forward without waiting or fearing that there's going to be future changes.
I think the big question in many of those plans is whether or not programs are viable.
Yeah.
But that's something that we'll have to continue to consider as market conditions shift. Now, touching on what was just mentioned a moment ago, part of the challenge that faced Vancouver's previous council was that there was no clear consensus among council members. The way our mayoral system is set up means that the vote is only as powerful as the council beside them. And now with a super majority, Vancouver Council can move and lead in clear direction over the next 4 years, finally, and that's something that we're really excited about.
Yeah, I think it's really clear. You can't do much if you don't have the majority on council. So we will see some things happen, I think, with this group. Now, on the provincial level, we also saw David Eby confirmed as the new NDP leader and BC Premier, running unopposed after the disqualification of his only opponent. Now, Eby was notably the former housing minister and has many ideas for new housing policy in Vancouver. He's released a housing plan that I definitely think is worth some discussion.
Now, like as you've said, Suze, he's spoken often about the challenges facing the industry. The proposal of his that stands out to me, and that has gotten a fair amount of media attention recently, is the flipping tax that he has put in front of all of us, which would implement an additional tax on any home sold after being held less than 2 years. This is one of the many proposed demand-side policies, yet again, in the housing market that we're going to continue to watch.
Yeah, now, while this policy, like many others, may sound impactful on paper, I'm not really sure if the actual effect on the ground is going to really create the change that we need. With the current proposed structure of the policy, I'm personally a bit skeptical of how big of an impact this is going to be. When you think about it, is it really the case that price appreciation in our market is being primarily driven by pure speculation and a select group of flippers? Or is it more likely that it's much more a reflection of the decades-long undersupply of housing in Vancouver, hampered by difficult, long, and costly permitting processes?
Tough call.
Yeah, or not.
Or not. So to me, I mean, and you, I think the answer is pretty clear. I think that we need to really distinguish between policy that is really aimed at the core issues or causes in our industry versus those Band-Aid solutions that we keep talking about, make us feel like political efforts are being more rather the honest effort at addressing the issue.
Now let's just take a look at one more policy that is on the horizon to really drive home this point, the foreign buyers ban, which is set to take effect in 2023.
I think this is one of the hottest topics right now in our boardroom.
It definitely is. Now on paper, it's meant to curb foreign pressures in the market and reduce competition for local buyers. We've seen a lot of media attention on this policy, certainly over the years. In practice though, the ban does not apply to foreign students, permanent residents, or any foreigners buying their primary residence.
Now, it really leaves you wondering, who does this actually cover?
Yeah.
Now, clearly we need support at a governmental level to address the many issues that we have in Vancouver. But on this specific policy, there's so little information out at this point in time, it's really difficult to understand the true impact it's going to have. the type of policy really matters as well. And that's why we're stressed the importance of government policy on the channel. Now, we're going to continue to do our very best to keep our viewers up to date on any new developments on this front.
Now, there are some good policies in discussion as well. It's not all bad news, including incentives for municipalities to hit housing start targets, fast-tracking below market and market rental, fast-tracking permits for single-family lots to add dwellings, and others. So there are some good policies coming. We look forward to seeing some of these policies take effect, and of course, we'll share those as well along the way.
I think what's really clear to both you and I today is that when we look out over the next 18 months, there is a significant lack of housing supply that's coming to the marketplace. We've experienced depressed housing starts throughout the majority of this year, and that's expected to extend into 2023 and parts of 2024. And what that really means is price appreciation is likely on the horizon as a result, as interest rates ease and as buyers truly come back into the marketplace with more affordable mortgage rates.
Yeah, once that market sort of flips its switch again, that pendulum will swing back hard and we'll see another big run up of price.
Yeah, and these demand metrics that they're pulling on today, unfortunately, will have very minimal impact on that surge or that tsunami wave that's coming.
Yeah, affordability.
Affordability.
Now, on that note, I think that wraps up this month's Trending Topics segment. We hope you found some value in today's episode. The MLA advisory team is active in every major market across Canada and digging deep into some of the micro trends happening right now. It's our goal to provide our viewers with actionable intelligence and to stay real estate intelligent.
Thanks for joining us, and we're going to see you guys next month.